Force 36, the 36th episode. This is gonna blow your mind, but the villains who have the upper hand run away at the start of the episode. Mind blown yet? Well, pull it together. It's the intro sequence, followed by J.K. scowling and Terry Bogard playing a crappy song with the power to make people listen to their crappy song. Naturally, it's broadcast live through Spacey Space High School, which, by the way, has a live broadcast system which they were willing to set up for the visiting space monster, resulting in everyone but Fjersengard and Donna Troy being brainwashed by the J-punk rockin' of Terry Bogard and J.K. scowling.
The seal is definitely not normal,
Donna Troy weirdly comments. Then we learn a bit more from the head villains about the core space monster switch, by which I mean we learn nothing more, but they mention it. And the Green-Eyed Man is intrigued by this punk rock and its potential for dastardly do, so he gives our Arkley villain Terry Bogard the power to be vaguely more powerful. Meanwhile, later, Team Fjersengard's mostly recovered from the satanic powers of punk rock, so they figure they should confront J.K. scowling on account of them still knowing where he lives. So they're all game to do that except for Fjersengard, because he made plans to write Robot Slime Girl fanfiction, I guess. Alas, J.K. Scowling's not a complete idiot, so the team finds his place empty. But Vincent Vega, who also knew where J.K. Scowling lived for some reason, was lying in wait. He attacks Team Fjersengard, prompting Donna Troy to transform after telling the villain to look the other way for a few seconds while he does that to keep his super secret identity a secret. Troy starts the fight by losing, but wait, that dastardly Vega has a new trick to flaunt even though he's winning. You see, he has the power to... Oh shit, he can turn into Hypnos the French fry beard. That's awesome, I love that guy. Even though it was Orko's thing to shapeshift and Vega's a Leo, so who would connect that to... You know, who the fuck cares? Can't have enough French fry beard. Although that might mean... Oh no, they're doing it. God damn it, I thought I'd be good for 10 episodes at least. But no, he can turn into Clough.
Some things never change, though we can still change things for the sun.
What the hell does that even mean? God damn it, why'd I start this shitty-ass crab battle bit?
It seemed like a good idea at the time, although time itself might be the idea.
Just get the fuck on with it.
Okay. On the field of J.K. Rowling's mother's basement, Donna Troy gets smacked around by his foe, the phony Clawful. Knowing that he's no match for even Clawful's shadow, Daft Punk orders Troy to retreat. Of course, Troy's too green around the gills to listen, but Daft Punk fires a laser from his daft satellite, which forces Troy to fly off in some kind of blue meteor. Figures.
Even for a facsimile, you snake-eating bastard. Well, Troy's sad for being shot up like a fish that's weak to bullets, and moving on, we see Fjersengard actually fishing, which is doubtless a metaphor for kayaking. Meanwhile, later, J.K. Rowling's having a nightmare where he's doing his J.K. scowling alter ego thing, but also feeling somewhat guilty. He has to do this in nightmare form because then the disembodied voice of Fjersengard can tell him, "Hey, what you're doing is lame. Check it out. You're literally standing on the bodies of your friends." Nightmare Scowling looks down to see that he's indeed standing on two bodies, that of Lucy and Boring Douchebag, which freaks him out because neither one is his friend. So he backs away right into Excitable Girl, who passes out drunk on him. Doubtless a metaphor for, kayaking. And then Scowling wakes up, although he's still horrified, of course, because Terry Bogard's hovering over him and trying to make Scowling look directly at his ice cream hair. But whilst this occurs, though also probably later, Donna Troy starts a rematch with Vincent Vega, cause Troy reckons that being half dead will give him the upper hand this time. It does, of course. And that fight amazingly culminates with the villain running away. Meanwhile, I'll say earlier, Fjersengard's appealing to J.K. Scowling's scowly heart by playing him a song. Something like, "Hey, don't start a band. Nobody wants to hear, nobody understands. Don't start a band. You will be so disappointed that it was nothing like you planned. Don't start a band. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah." Which touches J.K. Scowling's heart, for it's the song that made everybody hate his father for being crap, and he has a father complex or something, which Fjersengard surprisingly learned about while fishing. So for that complex, Rowling scornfully sings the song what made the public scorn his father for being crap. Oh boy, here goes. Don't start a band. Nobody wants to hear, nobody understands. And hearing this breaks the spell of Scowling's other crappy song in the one small area he and Terry Bogard were playing. And then Farsengard simply beats the crap out of Terry Bogard, curing everyone of the spell and thereby making that whole singing thing pointless. Well, maybe it made his friendship thing work again, but they didn't really spell it out, so Oh yes, and the premise of these last couple episodes has stirred the bloodthirst within Farsengard, so he tries to outright explode and kill Bogard in space. But luckily, Strawberry Ice Cream Head Lady saves her fellow ice cream headed space monster at the last moment. Only, of course, to send him to the Phantom Zone later, but the Green-Eyed Man's in a cheery mood, so in lieu of the Phantom Zone, he just sprinkles Bogard with some amnesia dust and sends him on his way. And so ends the episode with J.K. Rowling sending out a final transmission as J.K. Scowling. I've learned something today, he soberly begins. That humans have always been the same. Some nice, some nasty, some clever, some stupid. There's always a Blackadder and there's always a Baldric. And on that note, he walks outside to see Japanese text hovering in the sky, which I assume reads, "Look, the east is burning red." And that is the arc. My thoughts? Well, firstly, I never actually remembered which hand J.K. Rowling painted. So I'm sorry for having deceived you, and while I'm at it, I'll admit that I'm not actually schizophrenic, although part of me is. Also, I've learned something today, that punk is nothing but death and crime and the rage of a beast. And yes, of course, I'm referring to Punky Brewster. And that is all. So next time it's Forces Cores, the apple littering quandary. Or else it's Force and Core, the U after Q PlayStation Network crisis. Till then, good night and get serious!